Driverly.com, unlimited drama series.
I'm lying under my pickup truck, knuckles bleeding from a stubborn oil pan bolt, when I hear my wife's voice drift down from the kitchen window above the driveway. "You think your father doesn't know?" Leah's voice carries that sharp edge I've learned to recognize over 18 years of marriage. "He's a loser, honey. If he had a spine, maybe I wouldn't need real men in my life." I freeze, wrench in hand, motor oil dripping onto my forehead. Real men. That's a new one. My daughter Sam's voice comes next, quieter, sullen. "Mom, that's harsh. Harsh is reality, sweetheart. Your father fixes old buildings for a living. He comes home smelling like rust and sweat. Meanwhile, I'm working with actual professionals who wear suits and make real money." I slide out from under the truck slowly, carefully, like I'm defusing a bomb. Guess I missed the sign-up sheet for Real Men at the Ironview Community Center. Must have been posted between the bingo night flyer and the warning about the water main repairs on 5th Street, Ironview, Pennsylvania. Population 8,432. Give or take whoever left for better opportunities last month. This town used to make steel that built half of America. Now it makes gossip and sells car parts. The massive ironworks that employed 3,000 people sits empty on the edge of town. Windows broken, walls tagged with graffiti. I've spent the last decade buying up old industrial buildings like that, renovating them into something useful. Apartments, storage facilities, small business spaces. It's not glamorous, but it pays the bills. Or it did, until Leah decided bills weren't enough. I wipe the oil off my face with a rag that's probably dirtier than my skin and head inside through the basement door. Our house is a 3-bedroom colonial that's seen better days, but I've kept it standing. New roof 3 years ago. Furnace replaced last winter. Fresh paint in the living room last spring. Though Leah complained I picked the wrong shade of beige. Upstairs, I can hear Leah's heels clicking across the kitchen floor. She's been dressing differently lately. More makeup, perfume I didn't buy her. Working late at the law office, where she got promoted to senior paralegal 6 months ago. I should have seen it coming. I head to the bedroom to shower, and that's when I spot it. Leah's purse is open on the bed, contents spilled like she was searching for something in a hurry. And there, half hidden under a compact mirror, is a phone I've never seen before. A burner phone. The kind you buy at a gas station with cash. My hands are steadier than they should be as I pick it up. No password. Amateurs. The text messages load, and my stomach drops through the floor. "Last night was incredible. Can't stop thinking about you. Nah. When can we meet again? I need you." "He's so clueless. You're right. This is easier than I thought." "No." The contact name is just a heart emoji. Real subtle, Leah. "Nah." I scroll back through weeks of messages, motel receipts in the photos, explicit images I'm not going to describe because I'd like to keep my breakfast down. And then I see it, a message that makes everything click into place. "Your brother's place, or the usual motel." Nah, my brother, Danny. Of course it's Danny. Danny, who's 35 and still acts like he's 22. Danny, who runs a failing used car dealership and lives in a renovated loft above it. Danny, who I lent $15,000 to last year when his business was going under. Danny, who comes to family dinners and jokes about how I'm married to my work while he's married to the good life. Danny, who's apparently also married to my wife. I sit on the edge of the bed, phone in hand, and start laughing. It's not a happy sound. It's the kind of laugh that comes when the universe reveals its punchline and you realize you've been the setup all along. The shower runs in the bathroom. Leah's singing. She's actually singing. I take photos of everything on the burner phone with my own phone. Every message, every receipt, every incriminating photo. Then I put the burner back exactly where I found it and head downstairs. Coach Ray at the boxing gym always says the same thing. Don't fight angry, fight smart. I've been going to Ray's gym 3 times a week for 5 years now. It started as a way to stay in shape, turned into therapy. Ray's 60 years old, built like a fire hydrant, and has more wisdom in his scarred knuckles than most people have in their whole bodies. I need to talk to Ray. But first, I need to confirm what I already know. The Starlight Motel is on Route 22, just outside Ironview proper. It's the kind of place that rents rooms by the hour and doesn't ask questions. I drive past it that evening, casual-like, and there it is, Danny's cherry red Mustang, parked right out front of room 117, the same room number from the receipts. I pull into the diner across the street and order coffee I don't drink. I watch, I wait. 45 minutes later, Leah's silver Honda pulls up. She parks next to the Mustang, checks her makeup in the rearview mirror, and walks into room 117 like she owns the place. The coffee tastes like battery acid, but I finish it anyway. I'm not going to bust down the door. I'm not going to make a scene. That's what they'd expect. That's what a loser without a spine would do. Act on emotion. Make it easy for them to paint me as the bad guy. Instead, I walk across the parking lot, calm as Sunday morning. Danny's Mustang has always been his pride and joy. He waxes it every weekend, treats it better than he's ever treated any human being. I let the air out of all 4 tires, slowly, carefully, using the valve stem tool from my keychain. Then I write a note on the back of a gas station receipt. Tell Leah the first said hi. I tuck it under the windshield wiper and take a photo of the whole scene. The deflated Mustang, the motel room door, Leah's Honda parked right there like evidence at a crime scene. As I'm walking back to my truck, I notice the motel office window. Mrs. Kowalski, the owner, is watching me. She's lived in Ironview her whole life, knows everybody, knows everything. She gives me a small nod. Not quite approval, not quite sympathy, just acknowledgement. In a town like Ironview, that nod means the gossip mill is about to start grinding. I drive home, park in the driveway, and wait. Leah gets home at 11:30. Her hair's messed up, makeup smeared. She doesn't look at me as she heads straight for the bedroom. Work run late? I ask from the couch. Client emergency, she says without turning around. You wouldn't understand. I sip my beer. Probably not. I'm just a loser who fixes buildings. She freezes at the bottom of the stairs. What? Nothing. Just something I heard today. How real men handle business. She stares at me for a long moment, and I can see the calculation in her eyes. She's wondering how much I know. If I know. You've been drinking, she finally says. 1 beer. I'm a lightweight. Not like those real men you work with. Her jaw tightens. I'm going to bed. Sleep well, I say. You must be exhausted. She disappears upstairs, and I sit in the dark, finishing my beer. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. The message is just a photo, the one I took at the motel, except it's been forwarded. And forwarded again. Mrs. Kowalski works fast. By morning, half of Ironview will know that Danny's Mustang was at the Starlight Motel with deflated tires. The other half will know by noon. I smile in the darkness. Let the games begin. The photo hits social media by breakfast. Not from me. I'm smarter than that. But Ironview's a small town, and small towns run on gossip like cars run on gasoline. Mrs. Kowalski's niece posts it on Facebook with the caption, "Whose Mustang is this? Somebody's having a bad night at the Starlight." Within an hour, 37 comments identify it as Danny's car. Within 2 hours, speculation about who he was meeting becomes the town's favorite parlor game. Now I'm at the gym by 6 a.m., hitting the heavy bag like it owes me money. Coach Ray watches from his corner office, sipping coffee that's probably 50% whiskey. When I finally stop to catch my breath, he walks over with a towel. "You hit that bag like it slept with your wife," he says. I take the towel. "Funny you should mention that." Ray's expression doesn't change, but his eyes sharpen. "Tell me." So I do, all of it. The burner phone, the messages, Danny, the motel. Ray listens without interrupting, which is one of the things I appreciate about him. He doesn't offer sympathy or outrage, he just listens. When I'm done, he nods slowly. "What are you going to do?" "I don't know yet." "Yes, you do. You're not here at 6 in the morning beating up my equipment because you're confused. You're here because you're planning something." He's right, I am. "Don't get mad," Ray says, echoing what he's told me 100 times. "Get smart. Anger makes you sloppy. Strategy makes you dangerous. I'm not going to do anything illegal." "Didn't say you would. But there's legal, and then there's smart. Make sure you're both." I spend the rest of the day working on a renovation project downtown. An old hardware store. I'm converting into office space. Physical labor helps me think. Sledgehammer therapy, I call it. My phone buzzes constantly. Text messages from people I haven't talked to in months, all dancing around the same question. Hey man, is everything okay? Saw something weird on Facebook. I don't respond. Let them wonder. And at 3 p.m., Danny calls. I almost don't answer, but curiosity wins. Yeah? We need to talk. His voice is tight, angry. Good. About what? You know damn well about what. My tires? Really? I don't know what you're talking about. Bullshit. That note? What note? I interrupt. I haven't given you any notes. Maybe you should talk to whoever you were visiting at the Starlight. Silence. Long, beautiful silence. Look, he finally says. Things are complicated. Things are actually pretty simple, Danny. You're sleeping with my wife. How's that complicated? More silence. I can almost hear him trying to figure out how much I know, what I can prove. It's not what you think, he tries. It never is. Tell Leah the first, I'll see her at home. I hang up. My hands are shaking, but it's not from anger anymore. It's adrenaline, the kind you get before a fight. Leah doesn't come home that night, or the next night. Sam, my daughter, barely speaks to me. She's 17, senior year of high school, and she's been distant lately. I thought it was normal teenage stuff. On the third day, Leah shows up while I'm eating breakfast. She looks tired, older somehow. We need to talk, she says. Seems to be the phrase of the week. She sits across from me at the kitchen table. I want a divorce. I take a bite of toast. Okay. She blinks. Okay? That's it? What do you want me to say? You're sleeping with my brother. You think I'm a loser? You want out. I'm not going to beg. I never said, yeah, you did, to Sam, through the kitchen window. I was under the truck. Her face goes pale. You heard that? Every word. Real men, right? That's what you need. Not a guy who fixes buildings and comes home smelling like rust. That's not fair. Fair? I laugh, and it's not a nice sound. You want to talk about fair? I worked 60-hour weeks to put you through paralegal school. I lent your precious Danny 15 grand when his business was failing. I painted this kitchen the color you wanted, even though I thought it looked like the inside of a peach. And you repay me by screwing my brother in a motel that charges by the hour. It just happened. Nothing just happens, Leah. You made choices. Own them. She stands up, and I can see tears in her eyes. Real or fake, I don't care anymore. I'm moving in with Danny, she says, and Sam wants to come with me. That one hurts, I won't lie. Sam's 17. She can make her own choices. She already has. She thinks you're controlling and mean. Controlling. Because I wouldn't buy her a car last year? Because I made her get a part-time job? Because you're not there. You're always working, always at the gym, always busy with your buildings. When was the last time you took her to dinner? Asked about her life? The worst part is, she's not entirely wrong. I have been working a lot, but I was working for them, for this family. Fine, I say. She can go with you, but I'm not paying for her phone, her car insurance, or her credit cards anymore. Danny can cover it since he's such a real man. Leah's face hardens. You're going to punish her because of us? I'm going to stop enabling her. There's a difference. She's almost 18. Time to learn that actions have consequences. You're such a bastard. Yeah, well, I learned from the best. She leaves, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the windows. That evening, Sam comes by to pack her stuff. She won't look at me. Sam, I try. You know I love you, right? Whatever, Dad. This thing with your mom and Danny, it's not about you. Everything's always about you, though, isn't it? She's stuffing clothes into a garbage bag, angry and quick. Mom's finally happy, and you can't stand it. Happy? She's sleeping with your uncle. He's not my real uncle, and at least he pays attention to her. At least he makes her feel special. By taking her to cheap motels? Sam spins around. You're so judgmental. You think you're better than everyone because you work hard and follow the rules. But you know what? You're just boring. Mom deserves better. That word, boring. It stings more than it should. Okay, I say quietly. You're right, I'm boring. I'm the guy who paid for your braces, your school trips, your laptop. I'm the guy who taught you to drive, who stayed up with you when you had nightmares, who scared off that creep boyfriend when you were 15. Real boring stuff. For just a second, I see doubt in her eyes. But then her phone buzzes. Probably Leah telling her to hurry up. And the moment passes. I'll come back for the rest later, she says, and she's gone. I sit in the empty house. In the kitchen I painted peach. And I don't cry. I don't punch walls. I don't drink. I plan. Coach Ray's words echo in my head. Get smart. So I get smart. Ironview runs on gossip, and I'm about to become its biggest distributor. First, I make a few casual calls to Leah's boss at the law office, Martin Henderson, who I've met at a few company parties. I don't say anything direct. That would be stupid. I just mention, casual-like, that I'm worried about Leah. She's been so stressed lately, working such long hours, and I hope everything's okay with the client files she's been taking home. Taking files home? Martin's voice sharpens. What files? Oh, maybe I misunderstood. She's been bringing home a lot of paperwork. I just assumed they were client files. Probably nothing. Client files aren't supposed to leave the office, Martin says slowly. Really? Huh. Well, I'm sure it's fine. She's always been dedicated to her work. I can practically hear his mind working. Leah hasn't been taking files home. But now he's going to check, going to watch her, going to wonder what else she might be doing wrong.
187 messages to your gym partner? She's just a friend. Don't send photos like.
Watch more on Grammarly.com.
Seeds planted. Next, I visit Danny's car dealership. It's a Tuesday afternoon. Slow, just a couple of browsers on the lot. Danny's in his office, and when he sees me walk in, his face goes from surprise to fear to anger in about 3 seconds. What the hell are you doing here? Relax. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to talk business. We have no business. Actually, we do. That $15,000 I lent you last year, I'd like it back. Danny leans back in his chair, trying to look confident. The agreement was, I'd pay you back when the business stabilized. Business looks pretty stable to me. New sign out front. Fresh paint. That's a nice loft apartment upstairs. Leah settling in okay? His jaw clenches. You're a real piece of work, you know that? I'm a piece of work. That's rich, Danny. That's really rich. Look, what happened between me and Leah? It wasn't planned. These things just happen sometimes. I laugh. Actually laugh. You sound like a greeting card for terrible people. These things just happen. Like you tripped and fell into bed with my wife. Multiple times. At the Starlight Motel. She was unhappy. You were never around. So you decided to help her out. That's what this was? Community service? Danny stands up, trying to use his height. He's got 2 inches on me. But I've got 40 pounds of muscle from the gym. You need to leave. I'll leave when I'm done. Here's how this is going to work. You've got 30 days to pay me back the $15,000. With interest. Call it 20 grand total. That's not what we agreed. We also didn't agree that you'd sleep with my wife. But here we are. 20,000, 30 days. Or I call in the loan officially, and you can explain to your creditors why you're suddenly insolvent. You can't do that. I absolutely can. I've got the paperwork. All legal, all proper. Because unlike some people, I actually follow through on my commitments. I turn to leave, then stop. Oh, and Danny, you might want to check your online reviews. I hear car dealerships really suffer when their reputation takes a hit. His face goes white. What did you do? Me? Nothing. But you know how social media is. People love to share their opinions. I leave him standing there, and I feel good, really good, because I didn't actually do anything to his online reviews. But now he's going to be paranoid, checking constantly, seeing problems where there might not be any. The fear is the punishment. That weekend is Sam's school talent show. She's doing a comedy routine, something she's been working on for months. I wasn't planning to go, figured I wasn't welcome, but then I think, screw that. I'm her father. I have every right to be there. The high school auditorium is packed. I spot Leah and Danny sitting together in the 3rd row, and my blood pressure spikes. But I stay calm. I sit in the back, hood up, just watching. Sam's routine is actually pretty good. She's funny, confident, but then, about 3 minutes in, she pivots to a bit about her clueless dad who's so obsessed with his work he doesn't notice anything. The audience laughs. Leah and Danny laugh. Sam does an impression of me, hunched over, oblivious, while real men parade around behind me. It's mean. It's personal. And it's based on lies Leah fed her. Something in me snaps. When Sam finishes and takes her bow, I stand up. I walk down the aisle. People notice. Whispers start. I climb onto the stage. Sam's face goes from triumph to shock. Dad, what are you? I take the microphone from her hand. Sorry to interrupt, folks. I just wanted to clear something up. Dad, get off the stage. See, my daughter just did this hilarious bit about her clueless dad. And it's true, I was pretty clueless. Clueless enough to miss that my wife was sleeping with my brother. Clueless enough to think family meant something. The auditorium goes dead silent, but I'm not clueless anymore. So Leah, I point to where she's half standing, face red. Here's your wedding ring back. Turns out my brother's a better lay than a mechanic. Who knew? I toss the ring. It bounces off Danny's chest. Dad! Sam is crying now, trying to grab the microphone. And Sam, honey, I love you, but you're going to learn something important. The people who feed you lies don't love you. They use you. I hand her the microphone and walk off the stage. The auditorium erupts, gasps, shouts, a few scattered claps. Danny's coming at me, face red, fists clenched. He swings wild, angry, stupid. I duck. I've been training for 5 years. He's been sitting behind a desk selling cars. His punch sails over my head, and I slap him. Not punch, slap. Open palm, loud, humiliating. You're welcome, I say. Then I walk out, head high, while the crowd goes absolutely insane. My phone explodes before I even reach my truck. Text messages, Facebook notifications, calls from numbers I don't recognize. Half the town is on Team MC. The other half thinks I'm an asshole. I don't care about either half. That night, I get a call from Martin Henderson, Leah's boss. We need to talk about Leah, he says. I'm not her husband anymore. Talk to her. That's the thing. There are some irregularities with her work. Client files that don't match up. Timesheets that seem inflated. I don't suppose you know anything about that? I smile into the phone. Not a thing. But if there are problems, you should definitely investigate, thoroughly. We will. He hangs up, and I pour myself a whiskey. A good one, not the cheap stuff. Leah calls at midnight. What did you do? I told the truth. Novel concept, I know. Martin's launching an investigation. He's looking at all my cases. If he finds anything wrong, I'm fired. Then you better hope everything's in order. You bastard. You're trying to destroy my career. Your career? Leah, you destroyed our family. I'm just making sure everyone knows the score. Sam hates you now. You humiliated her in front of the entire school. Sam's been lied to. She'll figure it out eventually. Or she won't. Either way, she's almost 18. She can make her own choices. I'm filing for divorce tomorrow. Good. I'll have my lawyer ready. She hangs up, and I finish my whiskey. The next morning, I cut off Sam's credit card, her phone service, her car insurance, everything I was paying for. She calls, screaming. You can't do this. I can, and I did. You want to live with your mom and Danny? Fine. They can support you. You're such an asshole. Yeah, I've heard. Good luck, Sam. I hang up and block her number. It hurts more than I expected, but I meant what I said. Actions have consequences. By noon, Leah's fired. Martin found enough irregularities to justify immediate termination. Nothing criminal, just sloppy work and inflated hours, but enough to kill her reputation in Ironview's small legal community. By evening, Sam posts a TikTok, but this time it's not making fun of me. She's crying, saying her mom forced her to lie, that she didn't know the truth about the affair, that everything's falling apart. The video goes viral. Local viral, anyways. 60,000 views in Ironview and the surrounding counties. My phone rings. It's Sam. Dad, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know, honey. Can I come home? I close my eyes. Not yet. You made your choice. Live with it for a while. Learn from it. But Dad, I love you, Sam. But you hurt me. And you need to understand that you can't just say sorry and fix everything. Sometimes you have to sit with the consequences. She's sobbing when I hang up. I feel like a villain. Maybe I am one now. But villains get things done. 2 weeks later, I get an interesting phone call. It's from Mara, Leah's best friend, the PTA queen, the woman who's organized every bake sale and school fundraiser for the past decade. We need to talk, she says, in person. About what? About Leah, and Danny, and you. There are things you don't know. We meet at a coffee shop in the next town over, neutral territory. Mara looks tired, older than her 37 years. She orders a latte she doesn't drink. I'm the one who told Leah to go for it, she says, without preamble. I blink. Go for what? Danny. The affair. I pushed her into it. Why the hell would you do that? Mara's smile is bitter. Because 3 years ago, you fired me. It takes me a second to remember. The bookkeeping job. You were stealing. I borrowed money. I was going to pay it back. You stole $12,000 from my business. I could have pressed charges. I didn't. I just let you go quietly. You ruined my reputation. I couldn't get another job in this town. My husband left me. I lost everything. So you decided to destroy my marriage. I decided you needed to know what it felt like, to lose everything, to have people whisper about you, to watch your life fall apart. I stare at her, and pieces start clicking into place. You introduced Leah to Danny at a party. I made sure they sat together. I planted ideas. I told Leah she deserved better, that you were holding her back, that Danny was exciting and dangerous and everything you weren't. You manipulated her. I gave her permission. There's a difference. Not really. Mara leans forward. Here's the thing. I'm telling you this because it's eating me alive. I thought I'd feel better watching you suffer. But instead, I just feel sick. What you did at that talent show, humiliating Leah and Sam in public, that was too far. This needs to stop. You started this, and now I'm ending it. Leave them alone. Let the divorce happen quietly. Move on with your life. I laugh. Actually laugh. You think I'm the bad guy here. You orchestrated the destruction of my family, and I'm the one who needs to stop. You've already won. Leah's fired. Her reputation's destroyed. Danny's business is suffering because people don't want to buy cars from a homewrecker. Sam's a mess. You've punished everyone. It's enough. It's not nearly enough. Mara's face hardens. Then you're no better than me. Maybe not, but at least I'm honest about it. I leave her sitting there with her cold latte and her guilty conscience. Because she's right about one thing. I have become the villain. But I'm not done yet. I spend the next week planning, really planning. Not just emotional revenge, but strategic, calculated, devastating revenge. I leak Mara's confession to the PTA. Not directly. I'm smarter than that. I accidentally leave my phone on speaker during a conversation with her, while I'm at the grocery store where 3 PTA members happen to be shopping. By the next day, Mara's banned from every school committee. Her carefully constructed reputation as the town's moral compass is shattered. Then I set up the finale. I send invitations to Leah, Danny, Mara, and Sam. Family meeting at the old ironworks, Saturday, 7 p.m. Bring everyone. We're settling this once and for all. The old ironworks is my property. I bought it 2 years ago with plans to renovate. It's a massive space, all rusted metal and broken windows, shadows and echoes, perfect for what I have in mind. Saturday comes. I arrive early, set up my equipment, hidden speakers, recording devices, lighting that I can control from my phone. They show up at 7, all of them. Leah and Danny together. Mara alone. Sam reluctant, scared. What is this? Leah demands. Why are we here? Closure, I say. We're going to have an honest conversation, all of us. No more lies. This is insane, Danny says. I'm leaving. You're not. I press a button on my phone, and the main doors slam shut. Not locked. That would be illegal. Just closed with a pneumatic system I installed. Dramatic but effective. What the hell? Danny starts toward the door. Relax. You can leave anytime. But first, you're going to listen. I hit another button, and Mara's voice fills the space through the hidden speakers. Her confession from the coffee shop, recorded on my phone. Every word about how she manipulated Leah, pushed her toward Danny, orchestrated the affair for revenge. Leah's face goes white. Mara? You said it was my idea. It was, Mara shouts. I just helped you see what you really wanted. You used me. You used my marriage as a weapon. Your marriage was already broken. It wasn't, I say quietly. It was work, like all marriages. It had problems, but it wasn't broken until you broke it. Sam is crying. I don't understand. Why would you do this? Because I'm petty, Mara says. Because your father fired me, and I wanted him to hurt. So you destroyed our family? Sam's voice rises. You made my mom cheat? You made me hate my dad? Nobody made anyone do anything, I say. Mara planted seeds, but Leah chose to water them. Danny chose to help. And you, Sam, chose to believe lies instead of asking questions. That's not fair, Sam says. None of this is fair. That's the point. Danny's had enough. He charges at me, and I'm ready. 5 years of boxing training versus his rage and guilt. He swings. I block. He swings again. I duck and sweep his legs. He goes down hard on the concrete floor. Stay down, I say. He doesn't. He gets up, comes at me again. This time I don't hold back. A jab to his solar plexus, a hook to his ribs. Not enough to seriously hurt him, but enough to make the point. He stays down this time. Anyone else? I look at Leah, at Mara. Leah's sobbing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't fix anything. What do you want from us? Mara asks. I want you to understand what you did. I want Sam to see who you really are. I want Danny to realize he's not a real man. He's just a coward who takes what doesn't belong to him. I pull an envelope from my jacket, and I want Leah to know the truth. What truth? I hand her the envelope. DNA results. I got suspicious a few months ago. Had a private test done. Her hands shake as she opens it. She reads. Her face crumbles. Sam's not mine, I say. She's Danny's. The silence is absolute. Sam's voice is tiny. What? 18 years ago, I say. Before Leah and I got married. She had a fling with Danny. She got pregnant. She never told me. That's not true, Leah whispers. That can't be true. It's true. The DNA doesn't lie. Which means our entire marriage was built on a lie. Which means you've been lying to Sam her whole life. Sam looks at Danny. You're my father? Danny's face is gray. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. But you suspected, I say. That's why you stayed close. That's why you were always around. And that's why when Leah came on to you, you didn't hesitate. Because she was never really mine. This is insane, Mara says. This is truth, finally. I hit the button on my phone again, and the doors open. You can all leave now. The divorce papers will be ready Monday. Leah, you get nothing. Sam, you're 18 next month. You can decide who you want in your life. Danny, I want my $20,000 by